Freaking guest Wi-Fi. I hate this.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters, okay? It's like incredible. I know words, I have the best words.
He took a break from being disruptive to enjoy the company of her male companion. He briefly had a grasp on the situation before ushers returned.
Take a look at the oranges of the... Look, wait. They sacrifice every day for the furniture.
Some words that have been said about you, okay?
Nazi wine mom, Nazi cave woman.
I don't let name calling bother me or offend me.
This one's from someone across the pond, a daft wanker. That's British for stupid. Lives on a diet of glue sticks. A lower level life form.
Cephahide.
He's a war hero because he was captured.
Hello, everybody out there in the watching world. Welcome to Left is Right. This is episode 10 of the 415 episode series. All right, it might be 414, but we're under contract negotiations for that last one. Hope everybody had a good week. I know that I had a week. And I would like to introduce my co-host, Dawn Weekly.
Hi, Debbie.
Wow. There's a possibility we might get another viewer. Jeez.
Well, yeah, but since we have a loyal viewer, I thought I'd say hello.
I know. And she loves the show, too. I'm a little worried about that because I'm married to her, and if this is her taste, I might be in trouble. Oh wait, no, okay, never mind. That didn't make sense. Excuse me. For everybody who may actually be new to the show and may watch it at some point in time, this is a show that brings political point of view from the not, it's left leaning, to say the least. So, if you're a MAGA supporter or a Trumper, you probably not going to enjoy the show so much. So sorry about that. There's more than enough shows out there for you guys. You can go find one. This one is for all the loyal comrades, leftist pinko commies and old hippies who know how to think correctly.
Who know that left is right.
Who know that left is right. Thank you. I'm going to have to have you write my opening. So you think I thoroughly...
Yes, I think everyone's bored to tears so far.
Okay, right into it. This week, let's start with the trial updates.
Yeah, how you like that wall-to-wall coverage of trial updates? Oh
yeah,
my God.
It's getting so good now that the coverage is so on the ball that the minute the defendant utters the answer to the question, they got it posted right there on the old MSNBC.
And they're analyzing it from 5 different directions.
Yes, exactly, which gets a little tedious at times, but
Yeah, so here's the update.
Yes.
This week, Michael Cohen is testifying.
Yep.
First he did direct, and now they're on cross-examination. There's your update. Basically, the prosecution did what they always do on Law and Order. we know you lied, so we need to say that up front. We admit to everything, and that way they can't get us on cross. I mean, if you've seen 5 episodes of Law and Order, you know the drill.
Yeah, I mean,
and then on cross-examination, they're going to try to make him out a liar and say that him and Weisselberg went rogue and did this on their own. And so it's just going to be up to the jury to decide whether they're going to believe Cohen, whether what he said is credible enough, combined with all the other witnesses who testified. Even if they think he's a scumbag and or a liar, if what he testified to matches up with what all the other witnesses testified to, it's only reasonable to believe that he's telling the truth. So,
right.
But the prosecution the defense is going to try to make the jurors forget that fact and to make them feel that Cohen is just a lying loser who's out for Trump and because he doesn't like him. And they do have one Fox viewer on the jury, so that does suggest that they don't use their head, they use their heart. So if the defense can appeal to that guy or gal, whoever it is, and just make them feel like Cohen is just doing this because he doesn't like Trump and the prosecution is just doing it because they don't like Trump. If they can successfully make that person feel like that, regardless of what is going on logically, then you got a hung jury and they're
right.
It's kind of, the odds are against the prosecution, I think, because you got that. All you need is one person.
Right.
And if they just make them emotionally feel some way rather than appealing to their logic, that's the downfall.
Right. I saw, two things. First thing, I heard someone say that the defense that painted themselves into a corner with their opening statements, the jurors are probably going to, there's a good chance the jurors will hold it against them if they don't, try and prove what they said in their opening statements, which is that it never happened. This is all a huge lie. He never slept with her.
Right. I mean, I think that there has been enough evidence put on that the whole "it never happened" isn't going to fly. So
right.
That doesn't mean in that was in their opening arguments. Well, but in their closing, they could change.
Oh yeah. I was just saying that I think the guy who was saying it might be wishing upon a star a little bit, because he was saying that when they do their closing arguments and they don't stick to their opening arguments, that might convince some jurors that.
Yeah, it depends on, again, how well they do with convincing somebody that this is all just a witch hunt.
Right.
With emotion rather than with logic. Because I think with logic and connecting the dots and A plus B plus, and making it a linear pattern showing, hey, this happened because we've got this piece of paper and this person and this piece of paper and this person, logically, they've made a case.
Right.
So the defense's only hope is that they could make an emotional argument that makes someone overlook their logic.
Right.
Which I'm saying with a Fox viewer is, studies show that people who are attracted to Fox and conservative thinking go with their feelings over their thinking. So,
right.
So that's their and it's just so it feels so uncertain, because it's logically it seems like a slam dunk, but to just pull those emotional strings, it's kind of a whammy out of nowhere. And you're like, why are they getting that? Well, they're relying on their emotions. It's kind of like with the whole MAGA, I don't understand how they can support somebody who makes fun of a disabled person. I don't understand how they can, support somebody who is a creepazoid sexual assaulter. And this just flows right along in that line. I don't understand how our jury could look at all that evidence and go, yeah, it's all a witch hunt. But there you go. It's,
The other thing I saw was someone brought up that court cases, a court case by jury, that is, a jury shouldn't have to be unanimous. It should be a simple majority of the jurors that find somebody guilty. Whereas and have a two separate sentencing guidelines for unanimous verdicts and majority verdicts. And I was like, originally I read that and went, yeah, but I don't know. But then the more I thought about it, I'm like, well, it works for everything else. But I don't know. I kind of like the idea, but I don't like the idea.
Are you ready for my response?
Well, keep in mind that I haven't passed the bar, but I have watched at least 30 hours of Law and Order.
Okay. So that being said, first, they do have majority verdicts in civil proceedings, not criminal proceedings.
Well, they were talking about criminal law.
In criminal proceedings, it does have to be unanimous. And that's because taking away someone's freedom is a BFD. And if you can't convince 12 people that they did it, then they should not lose their freedom. Because I know you've watched 30 hours of Law and Order. Have you also watched 30 hours of Dateline?
Yes.
They're guilty every single time.
Probably only 26 times on that.
They're guilty every single time. Yeah. Do you know how rare it is for someone to get off once they're accused?
Right.
It's
I
rare.
understand.
You do not need to go to a majority verdict for criminal proceedings. No.
No, I was just bringing up the thing that I saw that I thought was of interest.
It was of interest, and I'm glad you brought that up so that I could crush it into the ground.
Apparently, gosh. Both feet. Wearing your work boots to that one. Goodness gracious.
And anytime you can cite Law and Order and Dateline.
It has been sort of a slow news week.
It has.
But we have found a couple of other topics to mention. The next segment, we're going to call this Florida versus Louisiana.
And, you didn't spell Florida right. It's Floriduh. Florida.
Oh, yeah. That's Florida. That's for all the... it's the poorly educated. I'm trying to get the poorly educated viewers.
So we found a couple of news bits that were going on. And I want to talk about Louisiana first because it is more important. It will be more important to our left is right viewers. And that is that Florida had a court case that went to the Supreme Court about their congressional map.
Louisiana.
Yeah, Louisiana. Is that what I said?
No, you said Florida. You said you wanted to go with Louisiana first, and then you said Florida had a case.
Oh, sorry. No, Louisiana had a court case. So it went to the Supreme Court, and it was about their districting for voting. for voting in November. And the Supreme Court ruled that the previously existing congressional map that had, of their 6 congressional districts in Louisiana, had 2 of them being majority minorities and 4 of them being majority white. The Louisiana legislature wanted to redraw that map and make it 5 and 1. And the Supreme Court said, no, 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 not going to do it. And so they're leaving it at 4 and 2, which makes it, which makes the Democrats' hold on the House of Representatives a little more likely. It will help in that effort. So we're not losing another seat.
Right. Good.
So that's that. Then the Florida story is about a bill that DeSantis, promoted on his Twitter feed. He promoted signing this bill that basically is very Orwellian in that it removes any references of climate change from several other laws. So, and it does things like it bans offshore wind farms. And even though there are no offshore wind farms for Florida and none planned, but it bans them. And it says that gas is preferred, the whole they're coming for our stoves thing. And just some things like that. So if it's policies related to energy or things like that, they're eliminating the reference to climate change out of there. His post on Twitter was, Florida rejects the designs of the left to weaken our energy grid, pursue a radical climate agenda, and promote foreign adversaries. I don't know where that's come from, but yeah.
I mean, even a governor should be required to make factual statements online or anywhere. If you make a statement, it should be required that it's factual.
We could always establish the Ministry of Truth. No?
I mean, if it's your opinion and you state it as such, okay.
Yes.
But he's stating a fact. He's making a statement.
I think that's where you need to go. Label an opinion clearly as an opinion.
Yes.
Yeah. I agree 100%. Yeah.
And I'm sick to death of these MAGA idiots constantly making, inaccurate statements because their statements are merely their opinion.
Yeah, and twisting the truth.
They pronounce them as they are statements and facts.
Right.
When they are not.
Right. Yeah, it's really getting annoying. It's getting tiresome, and I hope other people are getting as tired of it as we are.
I'm of the opinion that we should do a Secretary of Truth or a Department of Truth, and if you're going through your social media, if you've pronounced more than 100 statements as fact when they are merely your opinion and contain no facts, you are disqualified from running for office.
Or you're silenced for a certain length of time or something.
No, they're disqualified. If you've thrown nothing but if you've thrown over 100 lies out on social media or in the media or anywhere, you're not honest enough to be in government. I mean, let's face it, the government that we have now from local to federal is jam-packed full of criminals. And, politicians are on the take everywhere all the time. And some of it isn't illegal, but should be. And it's just ridiculous. And I'm disgusted with the state of ethics in our government right now. It was never in the Constitution and such, but when the Constitution was written, a man's ethics were important to him. He wouldn't do something unethical simply because of his own moral code. So it didn't need to be put in the Constitution. But now these people are all on the take, don't give a raspatoot. It's all about just lining their pockets, and what they don't understand is they have to live in this country and on this planet too.
Yes.
And if you're on the take and you're not fighting to better this planet, what the hell are you thinking? Where are you going to go when the proverbial shit hits the fan? That deadline is coming sooner and sooner.
It is.
And where do these people think they're going to live? Where are they going to go? What in the hell are they thinking? Do they have children? Do they have grandchildren? Do they care about them at all? That's the question. And I think utilities should be federalized. I think that utilities should not be a for-profit business. I think utilities should be federalized and, not free, but the rates and everything should be, regulated to the bejesus. And, if you work for a power company, you're a federal employee. I don't see any other way of fixing it.
Are you going full tilt commie at this point?
I'm going full tilt socialist.
Okay, socialist. Okay, good.
But utilities are a monopoly simply because they are. They can't help but be monopolistic. So
because it doesn't help anybody to have competition for sewer services. I mean,
right. So, but I'm just saying, if a utility exists, it should be under, if not federal, state control. And I know in Illinois that's going to screw a lot of stuff up. But at least we're not going to get raped, technically. At that point, it'll just be sexual assault.
That's a really unfortunate analogy.
Well, I went with the rape that I wasn't thinking, so if you haven't noticed, that kind of does bug me and put me on my little bandwagon, sort of.
Your high horse. That would be your high horse, not your bandwagon, because you are alone on that wagon. And so that would be your high horse.
Soapbox.
Your bandwagon is with other people.
Soapbox. That's what I meant.
Your soapbox would also work. That would also work. Agree with you. That all sucks. But you want to talk about something fun?
You're not going to what? You're not even going to shoot me down on that?
Nah, you'll let that go.
Wow. Okay.
Now, I don't know how to get this on here because I just thought of it. But did you hear about Vivek Ramaswamy's gaffe today?
Hubas?
Okay, so you know how the politicians are swarming to the trial as some kind of mouthpiece chorus for Trump, right? Like the first day it was it J.D. Vance and Tommy Tuberville? And then yesterday it was like 4 guys, including Mike Johnson. I mean, you've heard about this, right?
Right. Yeah, I did see something on that. Yeah.
Okay, so and then they all take their turns.
They're all standing there in their blue suits with red ties.
Yeah, and they all dress alike, and they all take their turns, doing their little spiels about it's a witch hunt, it's a witch hunt. So
they're doing their best impression of the family during the Manson trials.
Yes. That's a great analogy. You totally made up for the bad one. That right there.
Thank you. I'm done. See you next week, everybody.
That was a good one. So Vivek Ramaswamy, you remember who he is? He ran for president, right, as a Republican.
Yes, I remember. Yes. The
okay.
Psycho billionaire, right?
Yes. So in his comments outside the courthouse, he made a Freudian slip, a gaffe, and it's really kind of funny.
Okay.
Maybe during the break we can figure out if there's some way I can play it on my computer and you can hear the audio probably. Can I send you the video and you can try to put it on?
Yeah, send it to me, and after the break I should have it up and ready to go.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll go to break then. We will be back after this short commercial interlude. And when we come back, we will have a Freudian slip for everybody if Don's able to send it to me fast enough. So we'll see you in just a couple minutes.
We are looking for a few heroes, mentors, trailblazers, innovators, a passion to change lives, spark curiosity, open hearts, and awaken minds, help students answer the question, who am I? This could be your calling, but this is no job. It's the journey of a lifetime. Be a hero. Be a teacher.
Jason, let's go see your room.
What do you think? We kept it a little spare, so you can decorate it how you like.
Dinner!
Go. Excellent. Soccer is fun. Yeah, I saw you guys out there. We're the family. Yeah! I thought you were on my team.
Every body in a work zone is someone's somebody.
This is my mom. She works for KDOT.
This is my dad.
This is my mom.
This is my daddy.
This is my sister.
This is my daddy.
This is my son, Scott.
He was killed while working in a highway work zone. When you drive through a work zone, drive like a life depends on it. Because it does.
911, operator 901. Where's the emergency?
127 Brynmere.
Okay, what's going on there?
I'd like to order a pizza for delivery.
Ma'am, you've reached 911. This is an emergency line.
Large with half pepperoni, half mushroom.
You know you've called 911. This is an emergency line.
Do you know how long it'll be?
Okay, ma'am, is everything okay over there? Do you have an emergency or not?
Yes.
And you're unable to talk because...
Right.
Is there someone in the room with you? Just say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay, it looks like I have an officer about a mile from your location. Are there any weapons in your house?
No.
Can you stay on the phone with me?
No. See you soon. Thank you.
Yeah, hello. Sorry about that. Keep talking. You take this. You take it for now. I'm trying to figure out how to get your thing up here. Trying.
Well, and I was looking for it on YouTube.
Okay.
Oh, here.
Yeah, I am too, but it's not there.
Did you know that by pitching in the costs of a morning cup of Joe?
Hang on. Okay, try this one.
Hold on just a second.
Did you hear President Biden start to talk?
Yeah, I did hear that. I'm definitely going to have a couple more commercials for situations like this.
There you go. There we are.
Okay. Yeah. Talk about a couple things and then I'll get it.
It's one of the most depressing places I've been in my life.
Well, to set it up, this was outside the courtroom, and they were making comments that basically were, number one, to support Trump, number two, to say the things that he has been gagged from saying, and attacking Judge Marchand and his daughter, and saying that, she should be investigated, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, that's kind of horse pucky, in my opinion.
Yeah.
To skirt it like that.
Yeah.
They're going to have to make another motion that Trump and his subordinates or
his sycophants.
Yeah, his sycophants need to be
also they also can't do the same thing.
Is there any way that can be done? I mean, I don't know.
The court has to have jurisdiction over somebody that it's gagging. But they could tell Trump that you need to control those people or I will find you in contempt. You can do that.
There you go. I like that idea. I like that kind of party. I mean, that's just me. But,
So, have you got that video yet?
I'm working on it. Dang. I had to download it. Now I got to edit it. I got to change the codec.
No, you don't. Just freaking play it.
I can't just freaking play it. It's the wrong codec.
Oh, I don't know what that means.
That means it won't play.
No.
Nobody will be able to see it.
Oh.
So give me, talk about something for another 3 minutes and then it should be up and running.
Why don't you just run the audio?
Because They don't come separately.
No.
You sent me a link that had video and audio.
Well, I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, I can tell. I hope everybody's enjoying their free, sort of, kind of, maybe in a way, enlightening class.
All this stuff works. What not to do?
Yes. I was watching a lot of NCIS earlier today, and it's like, Jesus, Gibbs, it'll take an hour. You've got 5 minutes. My goodness.
We did have another viewer pop on for a little while. That was nice.
Yeah. Who explained that? Who was that? What was that? What?
That was my friend.
Oh, you've got friends?
A couple. Just a couple.
Oh, you know, it is what it is. Everybody's.
I pay them, you know.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah.
15 cents a minute, right?
Oh, gosh, no. $1 a day.
$1 a day. Okay.
Yeah. So,
why was she only on for a moment?
So we are all excited about going to see Nate Bargatze this weekend.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm jealous. That sounds like it's going to be a good show.
Yeah. Sorry, probably better than the Tom Papa show, but
Tom Papa show was really good.
Yeah, I found that one first.
Just the chairs sucked.
Oh yeah. Oof. Well, this will be.
That was the only problem I had was the chairs.
We're going to Rockford.
I know the general public doesn't know this. I know I look sexy on camera, but in real life, I'm a big guy, and they were seats for little guys.
They were 100-year-old seats for people from 100 years ago.
Okay. Go ahead and reset this up, and then I'll run it again.
So outside the courthouse, Trump has been having his sycophants appear, and each one of them takes their turn in front of the microphone to say, this is a witch hunt, yada, yada. Judge Merchan stinks, and his daughter is a crook, and whatever else they're coming up with. And Vivek Ramaswamy was one of the sycophants in the Veep race. So he showed up, and he said the following very interesting, humorous thing.
What do we see in there? First of all, I learned a lot from being in there in person. It is one of the most depressing places I have been in my life, but it is fitting because the only thing more depressing than the environment of that courtroom is what's actually happening in there. It's straight out of a Kafka novel. The prosecution's main strategy appears to be to bore the jurors into submission. And if you look in that direction, sadly, it may appear to actually be working. Now, I would like for anybody here in the press, anybody at home, anybody in MSNBC or the media afterwards, to clearly state what exactly is the crime that Donald Trump committed. Oh, wait. We have not heard a good answer to that question. It has been vague until today. You heard Michael Cohen's testimony, after which I would say it is less clear than ever what that crime actually was. They'll say falsifying business records. Well, let's look at who did we learn falsified business records today? Get what, hour, 2 hours, felt like it could have been 7 hours of Michael Cohen talking about how he falsified business records. Okay, so you have a guy who has been a perjurer in the past that is now saying he falsified business records. What is the crime that Donald Trump committed? Now, it appears to be what they might allege is some sort of bookkeeping error or whatever. The real bookkeeping that we need accounting of is Judge Merchan's own family member collecting millions of dollars as a Democratic operative, using the existence of this trial as a fundraising ploy for Democrats. This is unconscionable.
We apparently did not get the funny gaffe. We apparently got the Fox News version of what he
said. It apparently has been edited out.
Ah, dang.
And it wasn't edited by me.
Okay, well, I'll have to find that and get it to you. But it was funny. It was a Freudian slip, or he like is when he accidentally said it out loud part thing.
Well, what did he say?
Huh?
What did he say?
I don't want to get it wrong because it won't be funny.
Oh, well, by this time, it's definitely not going to be funny anyway. So, you know, how much worse could it get?
Right? Well,
well, don't worry about that. Let's move on to the next topic that'll hopefully enlighten some folks. We've kind of had you behind enemy lines a little bit, doing some reading.
Yes.
And please enlighten us on the vaunted Project 2025, the roadmap to the end of civilization as we know it.
Well, it's not the end of civilization, but okay. So I have delved into the 900 pages of Project 2025, and I'm taking them slow, and I'm going in depth. All right, so that we can digest this and see exactly what it says. So I'm in the foreword this week. Next week, I will be starting section 1. But this week is the foreword that kind of gives the overview of where they're at and what they're doing.
Cool.
So I think I covered a little bit of this last week.
You did.
But there are 4 broad fronts that they are saying is America's future. Okay. One is restore the family as the centerpiece of American life and protect our children. 2, dismantle the administrative state and return self-governance to the people. 3, defend our nation's sovereignty, borders, and bounty against global threats. And 4, secure our God-given individual rights to live freely, what our constitutions call the blessings of liberty. And I disagree with like all those statements in many ways.
Wait a minute now. If it was God-given, where is God this whole time? There's been, slaves and things of that nature. Because, God's people have been enslaved for centuries. So how is that freedom God-given? I'm confused.
Yeah, I would say that individual rights were not God-given. So you're correct there. Nor would I say that so-called God-given individual rights to live freely are what the Constitution is referring to as the blessings of liberty. Perhaps individual rights to live freely, but not God-given ones. Well, I won't go down that rabbit hole. Never mind.
I got a question for you. Is Joel Wolstein credited in the writing of this?
No. He's not one of the 400 people that had a hand in writing this.
Well, what the heck? I mean, he should get credited. I mean, can't imagine he did that without getting paid.
No, nor would he. But the Heritage Foundation believes that these are the 4 pillars that are so valuable to the next president that they cut through superficial distractions and focus on the moral and foundational challenges to the country. My question is, where's the fentanyl crisis? Where's income inequality? Where is racial discrimination? Where is women's rights? Where is reproductive rights? Where is the right to privacy? Where is
Whoa. None of those rights were God-given. Now, God only gives the rights to, heterosexual white males. I mean, come on, you know that. Everybody knows that. It's been that way for hundreds of years.
Did you get my graphic for Project 2025? Did you see?
No, I didn't.
No.
Didn't have time.
Okay. So promise number 1 concerning the family as the centerpiece of American life and protect our children. I don't understand. Protect our children. What? So they go more in depth to discuss promise number 1, restore the family as the centerpiece of American life and protect our children. So I'm not really sure what they mean by restoring the family as the centerpiece of American life, other than, mom and dad and 2 kids, all white. Like a 1950s Leave It to Beaver family. But they, and basically they say it. They say the entire point of centralizing political power is to subvert the family. I don't see how that's true, but and it says its purpose is to replace people's natural loves and loyalties with unnatural ones. So basically, we're homophobia right here.
Although you realize that 90% of the guys who are writing that are picking up guys in bathrooms all over the place.
I know. Yeah, it's crazy. So, and they're trying to say that government really doesn't have anything to do with the family and what we do together as families in the community. And somehow, raising the family to some vaunted centerpiece will somehow cure problems. They note that 40% of all children are born to unmarried mothers.
Yep.
There's no citation to any authority for that statement. So I'm not sure where they're getting that factoid, but it sounds kind of high to me.
Well,
including more than 70% of Black children are born to unmarried mothers.
Oh. See, it's the Black folk again.
Skewing the numbers.
Yep.
And it says, there is no government program that can replace the hole in a child's soul cut out by the absence of a father. Fatherlessness is one of the principal sources of American poverty, crime, mental illness, teen suicide, substance abuse, rejection of the church, and high school dropouts. But let's ask why there's no father. Why is there no father?
That one's easy. It's because bitches be crazy. But I digress.
That is not the reason. The reason is over incarceration. We do not do reformatories anymore. We just incarcerate and throw away the key because we have private prisons that are for profit and they make money the longer people are in there and the more you can keep them in there. Those fathers, a lot of them are in prison and they're locked up for minor drug charges, like for marijuana, which we created the drug charges to put Black people in prison to keep them down. And I mean, so it's circuitous logic that, the reason that we have all these problems is because of a lack of fathers being, chained to the mother. And somehow that would solve everything if fathers and mothers were just required to marry and live together. That would solve all the problems.
Absolutely.
I disagree. But and they need to be, society needs to be where children grow up with married parents as well. not just mom and dad, but married mom and dad, because that will make a difference to the child. That they know that the local government is licensed their parents to be married. That will make a difference to that child.
Yeah, because absolutely, because they're not going to notice the fact that a lot of people are licensed to drive who shouldn't. And being licensed to marry is an even lower bar. So, I mean, because that does, I actually agree with our viewer. I think Deborah's completely right. I would second that. I call BS on that whole thing as well.
So, but this is where the scary parts start. The conservative promise has dozens of specific policies to accomplish the task. Which is the next conservative president must understand that using government alone to respond to symptoms of the family crisis is a dead end. Federal power must be wielded instead to reverse the crisis and rescue America's kids from the familial breakdown.
Do they include a roadmap as to how the federal government's supposed to do that?
That will, that's what I'm assuming is in chapter 1.
Okay.
But they do give some, throw out some policies here, like eliminating marriage penalties in federal welfare programs and the tax code. I'm really not up on what that marriage penalty thing is, but I don't believe that it would really hit the father problem. But also installing work requirements for food stamps.
They're already installed.
That would certainly help.
They're already installed.
There is. There already is a work requirement for food stamps. You already have to work, or if not, you can only get 3 months of food stamps. Otherwise, there's a work requirement, unless you're elderly or disabled.
Yep.
Because I looked it up. So I don't think that making the elderly and disabled have a work requirement for food stamps is going to help.
Dawn, you are trying to fight this with facts, and you know that's not fair.
Then let's see what I put all these things here for.
Okay, wait. I just want to know.
Oh,
seriously, was that Project 2025? Was that published by The Onion?
No. You might think so, but it was not.
Sounds very much like The Onion to me. But I'm just what they call a layman.
Then, so their next thing is that it's time for policymakers to elevate family authority, formation, and cohesion as their top priority. And even use government power to restore the American family. I'm anxious to find out how you're going to use government power to restore the American family.
Going to federalize plenty of fish.
Doesn't sound like something we can actually do.
They're going to federalize plenty of fish, and everybody is required to have an account.
So let's see. And the next conservative president must make the institutions of American civil society hard targets for woke culture warriors. That's not easy to say. So this starts with deleting the terms sexual orientation, gender identity, diversity, equity, and inclusion, gender equality, gender equity, gender awareness, gender sensitive, abortion, reproductive health, and reproductive rights. those terms all need to be deleted and erased from your memory.
Wow. So of the 400 or so people who contributed to this little project, we're going to have to say the sperm count was probably around 100% on that.
Probably, yeah. You think? Yeah, I could look through the. Let's see. I got the list of the people.
Oh no, I really don't want to know because it's actually enraging me. It's enraging me. So we're gonna. You do more in-depth undercover research. We're gonna move off of that and go to some solutions because their final solution isn't suiting well with me.
Well, and just to make it clear, where they are wanting to delete all those terms is from any federal, every federal rule, agency regulation, federal contract, federal grant, federal regulation, or piece of legislation.
So the Civil Rights Act is pretty much dead.
Yeah. So. Yeah, so we can continue on with that. I mean, gosh, we're going slower than I anticipated because we're only partway through the foreword.
Wow.
We're only on 5.
But you know, I understand why though. The vomit breaks have got to last a while.
But some of the other stuff is a little bit. Yeah, we can move quickly through the rest of it, but we'll do that next week. But because I really want people to understand, you know, what this thing is, what they are trying to do, what they think should be done. So expect more of that thing like DeSantis did in Florida, where he eliminated the words climate change from regulations and bills. So we're just going to eliminate words.
That's a suggestion. He didn't actually get that done, right?
No, he did. He signed a bill to do that. Yeah. Congratulations, Florida. You're number one on the Orwell train.
There's one thing I agree with Trump on is we need to build a wall
between Florida and
everything else.
Well, that might be one of our solutions.
Yes, we're going to put that in the solutions segment. Well, since we have discovered that the first step in our solutions is the national popular vote. You'll notice at the bottom of the screen, scrolling is the web address for National Popular Vote.
Yes.
Please explain such a thing.
And again, this is where these states pledge to give all of their electors to the person who wins the national popular vote. And so basically shortcutting the electoral college and ignoring the whole, you have to have 270 from this state and that state and state by state going through it. It would be whoever wins the popular national vote, the national popular vote, all the electors go to that person. And that will eliminate the small population states like Wyoming that has fewer people than the city of Chicago in the whole state.
Right.
Having just as much power as the whole state of Illinois. Right. So it eliminates that.
You informed us last week that that's actually a lot closer than we had anticipated, or I had.
Yeah, there's only like 61 more electoral votes because each state has so many electoral votes that are needed. So maybe 4 or 5 more states sign on, and we will have this. We're really kind of close. So if you are in any state that is not currently signed on to the charter for this, which you can check out at nationalpopularvote.com, get with your state legislator, your state senator, your state congressman, or your state representative, and see if they will see what the status is in your state. Is there a bill? What's the status of that bill? Because a lot of states have bills that are in different states of passage. So get involved and make calls.
Right. And if they don't want to cooperate, I suggest general clamps and a cattle prod.
Exactly.
Yep. Exactly. Well, you requested that I produce some sort of solution,
Okay.
and I have come up with somewhat of a solution, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond just campaign finance reform, I feel that I'm not necessarily calling for term limits. I guess I am calling for term limits, but I'm not saying like one term and you're out. I'm saying that if you manage to get reelected 3 times, that's it. 4 times for Congress people, 3 times for senators.
We have term limits.
For the president.
We have term limits. They're called elections.
I understand, but my point is the people like Strom Thurmond who, are in office for 80 some odd years.
Okay, it's a bad thing, but the only thing I'm going to say about that is it is attacking a symptom, not the cause.
Right. I'm not saying that that's the only answer.
Yeah.
I'm saying that's part of the solution. And I'm thinking that 4 terms for a congressperson and 3 terms for a senator are plenty. There's all sorts of each that don't get more than 1 because they they lose elections.
That's 8 years for a congressman and 18 years for a senator.
3 times 6 is
18 last night.
Okay, so 2 terms for a senator, and that would be 5 terms for a congressperson.
Yeah, because they're every 2 years. So
that's right. I forgot.
Well, we just have to diverge on this solution because I think it's just I think it's not worth the effort of doing it. If you solve the underlying condition, you won't need to do that. That's my only issue with it, is that if you get rid of Citizens United and get corporate money out of politics, you won't have to worry about term limits.
True, but even if those are removed, you're still going to have the guys that have been,
And if they're not getting corporate PAC money, it's easier to vote them out.
Well, yeah, but
yeah,
still, if you're in long enough, you're gonna get corrupted in some way, shape, or form. I just don't see a way past that. I mean, I understand that you have pie in the sky and think that everybody's great. You should trust everyone. Make me sick. But you asked everybody. I at least partially delivered on your request. How's that?
Yes, you did. You did partially deliver on that request.
Thank you.
Kind of low-hanging fruit, but
wow,
you grabbed it.
Whoa! Just because it's low-hanging don't mean I'm not a smart monkey. Jeez, Louise. Work smarter, not harder.
And don't forget the one that we talked about last week too, which was turnoutpac.org postcards.
Yep. So. That's sending out postcards to people,
to voters in swing states to try to encourage them to vote.
Yep. Cool. And let's see. I think that's about it. I think we got everything covered. Remember, please visit us on YouTube. We also have a Left is Right Facebook page. And if you want to get a hold of us, leftisright2024@gmail.com. We are very interested in what you have to say because we want to know. You know, maybe a suggestion one of you have might make a change in the show. Possibly. There's a slight chance. Okay, I'm going to ignore it anyway, but go ahead and talk to us. No, seriously, let us know what you think. Please like us and like on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube. And thank you for watching. You got anything to say to the folks?
Oh no, I didn't know you were going to give me goodbye.
Goodbye. Okay, just goodbye. All right. Well, until next week, everyone. It's been a blast.
I needed money cause I had none. I fought the law and the law won.
I just wanted to say, look, welcome to the end of democracy. We're here to overthrow it completely. We didn't get all the way there on January 6th, but we will endeavor to get rid of it and replace it with this right here. We'll replace it with this right here.
Amen.
That's right, because all glory is not to government, all glory to God.
Until I got indicted, I never talked this way about him. You probably know. Until I got, who is this? Is he a friend? You can get him out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Go ahead, you can throw him out.
I needed money cause